Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the This is the Music Meets Podcast, an independent podcast show that's dedicated to introducing you to rising indie and alternative artists from across the UK and Ireland. If you are new to the podcast, then please hit that subscribe button so you never miss out on any future episodes, and feel free to leave a rating and comment, as it really does help us beat those algorithms. It's now time for episode 111. And I'm delighted to be joined by the mighty the Denabys, who are one of the most exciting bands emerging on the new music indie scene. Over the course of today's podcast, we're going to chat about the band's new single, Can You Feel It?, their upcoming headline show at the iconic Leadmill, supporting the Raytons, their favourite albums of all time, and much, much more. So it is a very warm welcome to you, Niall, to This is the Music Meets Podcast. Thanks very much for coming on, mate. How you doing?
I'm good, mate. Thanks for having me on. It's been a long time coming, and I'm sure we're gonna have a good laugh and a very long chat about everything.
Yeah, no, definitely. As I said just before we started off screen, that yeah, looking forward to it. Massive fan of the Denabys, like a lot of people, to be fair, and yeah, really looking forward to it.
I'm gonna say I like the bit where you called us the mighty Denabys, and you said you've been like, this is what you wanted to do for a long time, obviously, to talk to us and that, because we've got a lot to talk about. Because a lot of stuff has happened recently to us. Like obviously the shows we've done recently have been bigger than anything we've ever done. The song we've just brought out is probably the best song we've ever done. So there's a lot going off, obviously, within our band at the minute that we're all really happy about and buzzing about.
Yeah, yeah, well, definitely, as you say, there is a lot to talk about, and I think it's fair to say that it's really exciting, and it sounds like it. You just said it there, and obviously really really busy as well, which is brilliant to see, really. But before we come on to all of that stuff, there was obviously a beginning point.
Yeah.
So what are your earliest musical memories growing up?
So I've got a lot. Like not necessarily just playing like a real instrument. I can remember playing Guitar Hero
Yeah,
and playing that every day, like waking up, turning on Xbox, playing Guitar Hero, and like I used to play it with my brother, who was the bass player, Deck,
yeah.
and we used to like fight over who was singing. It's like he wanted to sing, but he was too young to read the words going across the screen, so we used to get booed off. We used to get booed off the Xbox. So we've always had like musical influences in his life because as parents growing up, they were like listening to music constantly, buying CDs. So I took after my dad a lot by listening to like I listened like bands like the Smiths and
Yeah.
things like that. My dad were mad on them. My mum bought me a Busted CD, so I were mad on Busted at one point. And growing up, like the bands what got me to play an instrument were like bands like Green Day,
Yeah.
Nirvana, Blink-182, the Foo Fighters,
Hmm.
and the Killers.
Yeah.
So I used to have like I used to have them on rotation really. So what I used to do is I used to burn the discs onto my Xbox. So while I was playing a game, I could have like the CD playing, and
Yeah.
I'd
Yeah.
have play a different one every day. So like the albums off the top of my head, you'd have like Hot Fuss
Yeah.
by the Killers, then you'd have like Kasabian Empire, Kaiser Chiefs Employment, Foo Fighters One by One, and then I'd have I think I've got pretty much every Blink-182 CD, every
Wow.
Green Day CD, and they were the bands that kind of got me to pick up an instrument. So
Yeah.
uh, very musically influenced. And I
Mm.
remember the last time I went on radio, I went on BBC Sheffield, and my dad were in my ear before I went on, going, "Tell them about me, tell them about all the bands I got you into and stuff like that." I'm like, "It's my interview. This, it's not yours. You stay quiet. It's my time."
And did
But
you
uh,
mention him?
but I'm self taught on the guitar.
Right. Okay. Yeah.
I'm
Yeah.
self taught.
Wow.
I taught myself. But I tried when I was 10 years old. My mum bought me guitar lessons, and I couldn't take to it. So I just gave up. But I still kept the guitar. I've
Yeah.
still got my first ever guitar.
Wow.
So yeah, I'm 26 now, and about 10-year-old. That's when I bought it. I don't know how much it cost because I didn't know anything at 10-year-old. So
No.
I didn't have a job or anything, so I didn't really know what value of money. So I've still got the guitar, and I've had it set up everything. It's my spare guitar for on stage,
Yeah.
but um, I'm self-taught, and so is Deck, as bass player. My brother, he's self-taught as well. So
So
yeah,
effectively, when you're writing songs, it is literally just playing like that sounds right to your ear. Do you know what I mean? Like,
yeah,
can you read music, like, or is it?
yeah. Well, I did go to music college. I did a year, and then I didn't take to it. I
Yeah.
realised music to me was more like a hobby. It's something I wanted to do on the side and see where it went.
Yeah.
But that was at like 18, 19, and then I didn't start the band till the band didn't start till I was like 24.
Right.
So
Okay. Wow.
I
Wow.
had
Wow.
like 5 years not doing music at all, not even touching my guitar.
Wow. And then just
Yeah,
what? So just before we come on to how the band started, then what about
yeah.
like your first gig? Can you remember the first ever gig that you went to?
The first gig I went to was Kaiser. No, Kaiser Chiefs. I think it was Kaiser Chiefs at Doncaster Dome.
Yeah.
Either that or Kasabian at Doncaster Dome. It was definitely Doncaster Dome though.
Yeah. Yeah.
I remember being on my dad's shoulders.
Best way to be, man, at a gig, man.
Yeah,
Best way. Best
I
way.
know. It's the other way around now. I've been at a gig. I think when I was like 19 or 20, I went to see Pigeon Detectives,
Yeah.
and my dad actually got on my shoulders. Other way around. He was like 15 stone as well. My legs were shaking.
Yeah, I bet. So
Yeah,
you obviously said there that you're 26 now. The band obviously only
yeah,
formed a couple of years
yeah,
ago. So obviously your brother's in Dex obviously in the band. So
yeah.
how then did the band start?
Um, so the band started. Um, I bought an acoustic guitar from a friend,
Yeah.
and it all came about when I went to a gig. I think I went to see Fontaine's DC, and I was watching them at Sheffield, and me and my dad got in a conversation where I was like, "Oh, I reckon I can do this."
Yeah.
I saw him playing, and obviously this is what I've always wanted to do. I've always been passionate about it. I've never really clicked to anything else. I've never had the drive to do anything else, but
Yeah.
apart from music, and like it's been going through my head where this is what I want to do, and I want to be on stage, and I still get nervous like going on stage, even though
Yeah.
it's
Yeah.
something I want to do. But once you get past first song, your nerves go. But we got in a conversation, and I was like, "Screw it! I'm gonna buy an acoustic guitar. I'm gonna give it a crack." So I bought the guitar. In that week, I wrote Sunshine. And
Wow.
yeah, so I wrote everything. My like writing process at the time, cause I didn't have a computer. Like some people they go on the laptop and they do everything on there and they
Yeah.
sync it all and all fancy stuff. Well, what I did was I recorded the rhythm
Yeah.
uh, through Snapchat or on my phone, and then what I'd do is I'd play it over and over. I'd just keep playing it, and then I'd try and write a lead to it.
Right. Okay. Yeah.
So then I'd record the lead, and then I'd send it to another phone, and then I'd play both at the same time, and then I'd like sing over it. I'll come up with words. That was
Yeah. Yeah.
that's how I wrote Sunshine, and then that's how I wrote My Life and Good Time.
Wow. Bloody
Yeah,
well, blind. I mean, yeah, obviously, as you said, because, most people that I've spoken to are saying about,
yeah,
you know, as you've said, using a computer or whatever and
yeah,
adding bits in over the top of it. But wow, that must
yeah.
a fair play to you because that's a lot of art. What you've
Oh,
just, that's a
it was
lot of art.
stressful.
That's time consuming to do that.
Yeah, yeah, but it was just one of them. It's like when when I'm onto something, I kind of like don't leave it alone. I will like
Yeah.
I've got something here, and I'm gonna keep going. And then when I was writing lyrics and stuff like that, or if I've got like the riff and the verses, what I know what the verse is going to sound like, I'll I'll listen to it through the day. Like even if I'm at work, I'll nip off for a few minutes and I'll put it to my ear and I'm like humming melodies. Or if I'm walking, I didn't drive at the time when I wrote them, so I used to walk to the gym 20 minutes there, 20 minutes back,
Yeah.
and I'd listen to the riff and everything, and I'd try and come up with a chorus and a verse and write it in my notes and then take it to practice. But
Wow.
when I wrote Sunshine, we didn't have the band at all, so it was stored on my phone for months.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
that's how it came about, because I was in the pub and I was like, oh, I've got this song.
Yeah.
And, and then Jack, as guitarist, were like, oh, I know a practice space. Let's go and try it out. So that's what we did. And we didn't have a bass player for months.
Yeah.
So when I practically begged Deck to join the band. I begged him.
Okay.
I knew he could play bass. So like, come on, Deck, come and join my band. He's like, oh, no, I don't really want to do it. It'll ruin my credibility. I'm like, what do you mean? Like, he didn't think it was cool at the time. He didn't think it was cool. So I was like, come on, Deck, like, we've got to give it a crack. And he's like, oh, no. But eventually I managed to get him to join. And after we played the ratings gig the other week,
Yeah.
he literally turned around to me after, man, this is what I want to do, this is what I want to do. I went, exactly. You know what I mean? Everything we've been working towards. And like, I've been telling him for ages, like, because he were also semi-pro at football.
Right.
So
Okay. Right.
like, when it comes to booking gigs, we were kind of fighting between both of them. Like his Saturdays, he might have been playing away, so we were battling between them. But then he turned around after the ratings gig, and was like, "Yeah, this is what I want to do."
Yeah. Yeah.
So that was
Oh
good.
wow.
And then Callum, as a drummer, he's from Selby, so he's like 30 minutes, 45 minutes away, but everyone else was within 2 minutes of each other.
Right. Okay.
So when we practice, we meet halfway. So there's no like extra traveling for him.
Yeah.
We all in like middle ground.
Yeah. Yeah. Sure. Okay. So, obviously, since you formed, obviously, it's fair to say that things have been moving,
Yeah.
pretty quick for you, really, in terms of like gaining new fans, like through word of mouth and stuff like that. So, how important do you think that social media has actually been for the Denabys so far?
I'm still grasping like to it. I'm still learning like little things, like TikTok. I think that's one of them apps that's it's really useful, but it's like you've got to pick up on little trends and stuff like that to gain like a little advantage. And if you have you seen the video of me in Greece when I come back and I took all the little
Yeah, I
videos and
have.
put
Yeah,
it
that's
together?
brilliant. That's
Yeah,
brilliant.
that's the best one I've ever done, and I'm still trying to beat it. But when we play at festival this Saturday, we're playing at Mozfest. I'll
Yeah.
take a few videos, getting there, arriving, setting up, stuff like that. But obviously I had the opportunity to film myself. Obviously boarding the plane, getting off the plane, going through the airport. Everybody else has gone through passport checking, and I'm still 100 yards back trying to like get a video of me running down terminal. And like we were last ones through. I think all security they were packing up. Yeah,
You're getting a few funny looks as well. What's this guy doing?
yeah. But like Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, they're all like I see them all as like a free really. Like they all come as like a trio. So like you can post one to one, you can copy and paste it onto the next one and so forth. But with Twitter, because I don't pay for it, X, whatever you want to call it, X.
Yeah,
So I
yeah,
don't pay for it. You've only got so many words you can put in.
yeah,
So I might put a longer post on Facebook, and then I have to shorten it down for X.
yeah, yeah. That's it. I know whenever, like, if I've been to, gigs, going to see bands and stuff, and you end up
Yeah,
you're watching it going down, and thinking, yeah, hang on, I need to cut this here in a minute because in a minute
yeah.
over
And
that threshold, and it's annoying.
videos as well. You're only allowed like 40 odd seconds, and I'm like, but I can post a 3 minute video on
Yeah,
Facebook or longer. But
yeah,
when we released "Can You Feel It" the other day, I merged obviously the single cover and I put the full song behind it. So I was going to put that on Facebook so people could just click on it and the full song would play.
Yeah.
I put it on, and I went to work, and then because I was on my break at the time, so I went back onto shop floor, and then I got a notification saying your video has been muted, and I'm like, eh? So I clicked on it, and it says the sound is copyright, and I'm like, why is it copyright? This is my song, this. And then it gave me 3 options, but one of them, the option I wanted, it won't let me click on it. It weren't highlighted, so it were either accept the decision, remove the video, or you could like obviously debate it, and it won't let me do that. So I just accepted it. So nightmare.
Yeah, it's happened to me a few times with songs of the day and that, and then
Yeah,
you go, it like comes out in, oh, it's copywriting. I don't know.
it's frustrating.
Yeah, it is definitely. And you're just sort of thinking, no one's listening to my post or watching it in those countries. Just carry on and just
Yeah,
allow me at minute, man.
yeah. You know what I mean? But it's things we have to deal with.
Yeah, no, definitely, and that actually takes on quite nicely there. You talking about doing a bit of promo for the new single.
Yeah.
Obviously, it's called "Can You Feel It." We're recording this on Wednesday evening, so the song's been out for a couple of days. It was out on the 3rd of June.
Yep.
It's an absolute belter of a song. It's had a fantastic reaction. So yeah, what are your thoughts then on the reaction that he's had so far?
Well, I got a message yesterday from someone who said it's now their favourite track. It was Talk of the Town, which was a previous release, but
Yeah,
it's now their favourite track. And everyone I've spoke to has said the same. I just
yeah,
think it's something different. It's a lot. It's more us, definitely more the Denabys, because that's all our influences put together. Every single one of us, we all
right,
like
okay.
upbeat rock music.
Hmm.
Jack is guitarist; he likes his metal.
Right, okay.
So when it comes to playing Sunshine, he's like, "Oh, this is other end at scale." So the reaction we've had has been very positive, and I can't wait to play it live. Um,
Yeah,
it's another thing playing a song live when it's not released because the crowd are there, they're like gauging it. They're going, "Am I going to bounce about for this? I don't know the words." But when they do know the words and they know the meanings behind it and they feel
yeah,
the lyrics and they feel the song, and you let the song take you to a place, then wait,
that's it.
if I went 10% battery, then people are going to go mad. People are
Yeah,
going to go mad for it live, and I can't wait for it because when we're on stage and we see people enjoying it, it makes us enjoy it that bit more.
yeah, yeah,
So
sure.
the reaction's been very positive.
Yeah, no, from what I've seen, it definitely has, and I have to say, I just love that the opening like the bass line there at the beginning,
Yeah.
sort of reminds me
That's how we
straight
started
away of
writing it.
yeah, it reminded me as soon as I heard it, I thought, oh, I
Muse.
can hear the Chemical Brothers in this.
Yeah.
Oh,
We
the
well,
what's it got? Block rocking beats.
yeah.
That probably doesn't sound anything like it, but it might.
Well,
But yeah, that's straight away, and then obviously then everyone just comes in, and it's just like wow, just hits you
yeah.
straight away. It was a fantastic track.
Uh, when Deck brought it to practice, because he's got a couple, like he'll bring a few different ones, and he's had one he's been dying for us to use for a year, but we're like, I don't know where we go with this one. But then when he brought this one out, like do 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 do, like however it goes,
Yeah,
um, I was like, bloody hell! I went, is that Muse? Like, because I thought it was Muse, and then I played is it Hysteria?
I think so. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah,
So I played that. I went, actually, it doesn't even sound like it. I think it's obviously like the tone, like the distorted bass.
yeah.
But as soon as he did it, and I was like, right. So we tried to work out where to go from that. So I just went, ring out, and then like yes, and then we all come in. We all I think we all got goosebumps, and we were like, this is sick. This is like best thing we've ever done. So we were all chuffed with it, and then but the thing is with the lyrics. and the vibe of the song. When we write a song like that in practice, and it kind of just comes out of nowhere, and like he's brought it in, and he's like, because we've started writing as a four now rather than like a singular person.
Yeah.
So he brought the bass, and then we did the ring out, and then I know how the verse is going to go then, so then I can start working out a melody for the lyrics. But the lyrics are kind of based around the feel of the song. So if I feel like the song's like energetic, punchy, my lyrics have got to match it. Like it's something you've got to shout and like, you know what I mean? So, but when we got to the chorus, I didn't have anything in mind at all. Like we're just playing, we just kept going over and over it. And then I went, I'm looking down the barrel of a gun. And our deck just turned to me and went, bloody hell. He knew that he went, that was sick, that was sick. I don't know where it came from. It's just like the feel of the song, and you just let it take you naturally, and whatever happens, happens. Do you know what I mean? That's the approach we kind of have with your songwriting.
Yeah.
And then if there's like a line or two we don't like, we'll just change it. But the general feel of the song is kind of in the moment, and how we feel when we're in the practice room writing it just comes out.
Yeah. So was that then quite obviously you were saying, obviously I know it's sort of pre the band existing. Obviously
Yeah,
you wrote the first single, basically on your own. So was it
yeah.
quite a conscious decision then for everybody to get involved? Or did it just sort of happen like quite
Well,
naturally?
well, it's more a case of everyone feeling more involved. I didn't want it to feel just like my band. You've got to keep everybody happy. Like an happy band is a successful band. So you you need everyone to be happy, because last thing I wanted was someone to leave, or because then you're back to square one where you're teaching someone all songs again. And I
Yeah.
just wanted everyone to feel a part of it, and just feel wanted, and like obviously to be there. So we made the decision, because Callum is drummer. He's a good guitar player.
Yeah.
He's obviously, he's got his own song. I think you've played his song, haven't you?
I did.
Have you
Yeah,
played his
yeah.
song? Yeah.
Yeah, really good
He's a
song.
talented kid, and he brings like riffs, and he's like, oh, I've got this, and then Jack, obviously guitar player, he's got riffs. We kind of let him solo whenever he wants. It's like, hey, Jack, chuck a solo in there, mate. 'Cause, he'll just run away with it. And then, but it's one of them. It's like if I write a riff and I bring it to practice, and then I say, look, you play this, like Jack won't feel like he'll feel more like a cover band for some of us in the band, I think, because they'll feel like they've not contributed to that song. So
Yeah.
it's more just getting everybody to contribute and feel happy and proud that this is their songs, their
Yeah, yeah.
like piece of art, really.
Yeah, sure. Okay. So, obviously got you mentioned it, and I'm desperate to ask you really. Obviously the previous single was called Talk of the Town.
Yep.
You guys obviously did a brilliant music video for it. Absolutely fantastic. So, can you just tell us a little bit about it? Because obviously it involves a local shop. There's a balaclava in it.
It's
What
not a
was
local shop. It's about 45 minutes away. That shop.
All right,
Yeah.
okay.
It were. I tried to get a local shop, but there weren't a local shop that suited it. We needed a big shop, and every shop around here that offered to let me use it were half the size. So
Right,
the
okay.
more aisles we had, the more angles and shots we could have, and the more things we could interact with. That was the whole idea of having a big shop. But the whole like video, um, basically it was an idea. So we had a couple of ideas. We're more like we were going to start it with the girl robbing someone running off, and then my idea was like somebody chasing her down and trying to like hunt her down, and like but always being one step behind.
Right, yeah.
But it didn't. We didn't end up agreeing on that one, so we ended up going with. It's also Harrison, the lad who filmed it, is absolute quality. He did a couple of the Rosa Dogs videos as well.
Right, okay. Yeah, yeah, they're
So
good lads.
I knew him through them because I were in a couple of their videos. So I
Yeah,
knew he was good at what he does. So I got him in, and me and him spoke for days, and we kind of come up with this video of robbing a shop and then going on the run and things like that. But obviously it's a bit of Harley Quinn vibes with the balaclava, and like I brought a balaclava to a gig once. I brought the same balaclava and I chucked it into the crowd. There's a photo somewhere, a lad on someone's shoulders with the balaclava on while we were playing. Yeah, I have got another balaclava somewhere, but it's pink, and I'll bring it out. I might bring it out at Leadmill, to be fair. But the video was really good, and we're really proud of it. We wanted to do one for Can You Feel It, but it weren't in the budget. Because my van broke down, so I had to spend just best part of $1,000 on this. So, and we needed the van obviously to get about.
Yeah,
so, yeah. The budget, like the money we had, we put on PR.
Yeah.
Put that on PR, and then the recording weren't cheap. It's the most we've ever spent on a recording, but you pay for what you get what you get.
Yeah, no, definitely. Well, I think you can definitely hear that, you know, on the record. Obviously, that it's obviously, you know, taking it up another notch and or a couple of notches, and it is, if you've not checked it out yet, it really is a brilliant video, and obviously the song's great as well. But yeah, the video is brilliant. So okay, so let's have a little chat then, about live music. We're going to go back. Must be about what, 5-6 weeks, roughly. From when we're recording this from, anyway. May the 6th. You obviously supported the Raytons at the Leadmill. So really, a couple of different questions in here, to be fair. So first of all, what was it like for you to be playing there? And did you get to catch up with the Raytons at all? You know, either pre or after the gig, and have you got any sort of, you know, funny stories or memorable moments that you can tell us about the night?
So to play that stage was a goal of ours from the very beginning. Like when we started this band, like we set a couple of targets, and the main one was to play the Leadmill. And we have played the Leadmill before, but it was a side stage.
Yeah.
And we've never played the main stage before. So when we got asked to play the main stage, I was sat round the pool in Greece, drinking Blue Lagoons, and I get a phone call from Johnny, lead singer. He says, "Hey up, mate, do you want to come play at Leadmill?" I'm like, "Well, I'm in Greece, mate. I landed about 4 hours ago." He's like, "Oh, never." I'm like, "Yeah." I went, "Well, I kind of thought this would happen, because I did. I did think, because we applied for it, but I was kind of thinking, we're going to get this, and I'm going to be in Greece." And I actually booked a flight back, and they paid for my flights. Actually, they offered
Wow.
to pay for my flights. I weren't going to ask for it. It cost me 180 quid, but I would have paid 180 quid to play main stage Leadmill to like 1,000 people anyway.
Yeah. Wow.
So
That is brilliant from them.
yeah, they covered the flights, and then so that was a Sunday, and we did the gig on the Monday. So on the Monday, we drove to Leadmill, pulled up, loaded all the stuff in, and the ratings were there, so we all said hello, shook hands, and stuff like that. But I know Johnny from we're from like pretty much the same village, so
Yeah.
I've seen him in the local pub a few times. I spoke to him, asked him for advice in the past, and when I've seen him, and like a couple of little pointers, and he has. And they're a good set of lads, really are. So we had a chat with him before, and then they wished us luck and just said, "Look, go on, be yourselves, do what you do, and just enjoy yourself." So before we went on, they came down and saw us. But we had his own dressing room, and we didn't want to interfere with him too much, because it's one of them, like being asked to do something, but you don't want to like outstay your welcome. So we
Yeah.
just
Yeah.
we just kind of left them in their dressing room, and then we stayed in ours, went and did a show, come off, and then went into the crowd and watched them. So there weren't like any antics and stuff like that. We just wanted to be strictly professional, and because we were there, and like we were all like a bit like we were amazed really that we had the opportunity to do it. We went on.
Yeah.
We had a bit of banter on stage, as we always do. Like we pride ourselves on having a laugh. getting crowd involved, and just because obviously me and Det being brothers, we can say what we want to each other. And we're not really going to offend each other. So we know each other like back of his hand, so we know what we can and can't say to each other. So we had a right laugh, really. And I remember when we got asked, and I put it in the group chat to everyone, and Deck and Jack went, "You're joking." I went, "I'm not. We have actually been asked." And they're like, No, we haven't." I went, "We have." They're going, "No, we haven't." I went, "Look, we have." And then I got a message back off them, and they were going, "I'm shaking. I'm literally shaking." I'm like, how do you think I feel? I've just been on the phone. I'm sat around a pool in Greece. I've got to get back. Oh, but yeah, it were a brilliant night, and it was just, I was shaking like throughout the whole gig. Like, I can get nervous, and it usually stops, but I was nervous for every song.
Really?
And I don't think I gave off the vibes that I wore, but I really were inside. But I have like a little technique when I'm like playing. I'll just stare at back wall. So I think
Right. Okay.
if I
Yeah.
start staring at people, but if I just look past them, like, I can't see like 1,000 people. Just imagine they're not there, but it was brilliant.
Obviously, also as well, as obviously playing the Leadmill, we've also got a busy few months coming up.
Yep.
You've obviously got 8 live dates booked in between now and the rest of the year.
Yep.
Starting with a couple of festival appearances on the 8th of June at Mozfest. You're also playing at Asker's musical festival on July the 13th. We're also going to be.
That's now being moved to June 7th, 2025.
Oh, is it? Oh, right. Okay.
It got announced at 7 o'clock tonight.
Oh, okay, right. Oh, terrible researcher. So, not that one then. So you've obviously also got support slot with Skylights in Barnsley on August the 10th, and then probably 3, I guess, pretty standout moments, I suppose. Really, 3 headline shows. You're going up to Edinburgh. You've also got the Hairy Dog in Derby, and the biggest headline show to date on Saturday, the 2nd of November, at the Leadmill. So, how excited are you for those 7 live dates that you got coming up between now and the end of the year?
We're always excited for every gig. Like, we just enjoy performing. I want to quit my job. Question is, when can I quit my job? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But we've got the gig this Saturday. We're opening the main stage at Mozfest. Last year we had the pleasure of playing Mozfest, but we were on the side stage.
Right.
And
okay.
So we've been promoted. Been promoted to the main stage this time around. So
nice.
We're buzzing for
glad
that.
To see progression.
Yeah. It's always nice to see, but I'm hoping the weather's nice.
Yeah.
I haven't checked the forecast yet, but I'm hoping it's 20 degrees at least.
And I mean, I'm guessing, you're saying there that you're excited about every gig, but I'm guessing, obviously, we've mentioned it, the biggest one, and probably the one that's probably, with all due respect to all the other gigs that you got, that's probably the one that I guess is probably most anticipated, has got to be that Leadmill show, right?
Yeah, I mean, it's what we've been working towards since we started the band. So it was just, I dropped a message, and I was like, to the events manager at Leadmill, and I was like, Denabys headline show, and he messaged back and put, when? I was like, when? I'm like, end of year, come on, end of year, big end of year show. Like, obviously I didn't want it soon, because the further away it is, the longer it's on sale, the better it'll do. So
yeah.
You give your fans, you give people a chance to book it off, or because the longer you leave it, someone might have something planned that day or that weekend. So the plan was to always get it in early, get it announced early, and just give everyone the chance to buy a ticket, and also make it affordable as well. Because we capped the tickets at £8.
Yeah.
So I thought, if we keep it at £8, like, obviously if there's booking fee, it's still less than a tenner.
Yeah.
And when you start getting to like £10, £12 and your booking fees, if someone's got to get an hotel as well and trains, people might turn the nose up at it and be like, no, I'm not doing that, it's too much.
Yeah,
But at £8, you can't complain on that.
no, definitely not. It makes sense. It's so sad, really. You're saying there about people might turn their noses up at saying
Yeah,
that
yeah.
£12, and yet
Hopefully
they're having
not.
to pay. Well, yeah, hopefully not. But you know what I mean. But they'll go and spend. I mean, I'm just as bad when I have to go to grassroots gigs and that as much as I possibly can, probably more than
Yeah, yeah.
the big ones. But
100%.
you see the arena tours and that, and bands are charging over £100 a ticket, and yet
Yeah,
people
yeah.
are chucking money at that, and yet
And then I can't believe this, but sometimes they charge you for an e-ticket.
yeah.
I've actually seen that. I'm like, you're charging me for some pixels on my screen. What's that about?
A little QR code, isn't it? It's just an
Yeah,
email on your phone or whatever. And I was having the same. I was out for a few beers on Saturday night, early, but before I went out to a gig on Saturday, and that exact same point that you've just said came up in conversation. So
yeah.
there's a lot of people feeling that at the minute. It's bizarre.
I said back in the day when I used to order a gig ticket, it'd come in an envelope.
Yeah,
You'd open the envelope, you'd look at your ticket, you'd have a ticket with a booking ticket as well, like your details on and stuff like
yeah.
that. What's happened to those times? Where have they gone?
Yeah,
But,
yeah.
well, I
Well,
guess
well.
they're trying to cut down on paper. They're trying to
Yeah,
save trees.
that's it. Yeah, that's it. Exactly.
Save the
We're
trees.
carbon neutral,
Save
mate.
the
Yeah.
trees. The Denabys are back in the Amazon rainforest. Back the trees.
Oh, mate, no, I agree with you there. I used to have, I've got scrapbooks full of tickets, from loads and loads of gigs that I've been to over the years, and used
Yeah.
to, especially for the big like summer shows as well, where it used to be like the band that you were going to see. It was they'd done it specifically to them. It used to annoy me a little bit with the like the O2 venues and that, and it was literally just, didn't matter which O2 venue you went
Yeah.
to, it was literally the same ticket, except obviously just different
The band
band
room.
show name, and that was it. It was a bit
Yeah.
of a crying shame, really.
I've got an envelope with all my gig tickets in it as well. So I keep them all together, and it's a bit of like you can look back and be like, yeah, this is the gig I went to this year and stuff like that. It's just a bit of history and like what you can look back on.
Yeah, no, definitely agree with you there, mate. So obviously on for your live shows, for those that haven't come and seen the Denabys
Yeah.
before, what can they expect from your show? And is there going to be anything special, that you're thinking of doing for the Leadmill show, or are you still in that sort of early doors planning stage and you haven't thought that too far ahead yet?
Um, we did think of something the other week, but I can't remember what it was. You can expect a lot of banter, good vibes, entertainment value. That's another thing. If you're going to see a band, you want to be entertained,
Yeah.
and we will entertain you. And I'm not going to sing Robbie Williams,
A few.
but we will entertain you. We'll make you laugh, and start a mosh pit, please. That is all we ask. Minimum mosh pits.
Brilliant. Well, it's time to experience that myself at some point in the near
Yeah.
future. But let's pause briefly on the music chat, because obviously I know that you're obviously a Leeds United fan. So how did you start supporting them? Is that a family thing?
Yeah.
And what's been the highlight for you supporting Leeds so far? Like if there was one moment you could choose for yourself.
So I'd say I've supported Leeds since I was a kid. My dad has always been a Leeds fan. My dad was born in the 60s and grew up through in the 70s when Leeds were one of the best teams around.
Yeah.
So I've always followed who my dad supported. So I'm not one of them. I'm not a glory supporter, as you can tell. I've been to Championship. I've been to League One.
Yeah.
Been to all of them. Obviously, recently I went to Wembley and we lost to Southampton. That were heart wrenching, but I didn't cry. I was gutted, but I didn't cry. Probably one of the best moments being a Leeds fan, it's got to be just watching them under Bielsa.
Yeah,
they're unbelievable. I could go to Ellen Road, I could go to any game, and I went with this feeling that we were going to win every time, even when we're in Premier League. Obviously, when we're at Premier League and you're up against big boys, and that season, the first season back, there were COVID, so fans weren't allowed in ground.
Yeah.
But obviously, I did get to watch Leeds in Premier League, and it were good. But I think it's one of them you get hammered every week. You get hammered every week in Premier League. Unless you spend all that money, you're going to get hammered.
Yeah.
And, but obviously, this season we finished third. Didn't go up, but I'm hopeful for next season. And it's just being in Ellen Road and hearing marching on together and all fans and that getting behind the team is brilliant.
Yeah.
And I remember I were at the playoff semis when we lost to Derby.
Yeah.
And we beat them home and away. We beat them away in first leg in semis. And then the second leg back at Ellen Road, I remember coming into the ground, sell out. There's fans waving scarves around. We actually went 1-0 up, so 2-0 up on aggregate. I've never heard a crowd as loud in my life. It was unbelievable. Yeah. Goosebumps, pyros going off. I set one off. And, yeah. and then we went on and lost. And then we didn't say a word. We didn't say a word all the way home in the car. We didn't speak.
Wow.
It was awful. But yeah, I like definitely Leeds under Bielsa. Unbelievable.
Yeah.
Absolutely unbelievable.
Yeah.
The football.
Yeah, no, definitely. I think, probably. I mean, I'm a West Ham fan, and when we had it was our sort of last season, at the Boleyn, when we had Slavan Bilic as the manager, and we had Dimitri Payet, just doing unbelievable stuff every week, and that feeling that you've described there, where you just thought every game. And I went.
Didn't fear anyone.
And you just thought it didn't matter if you went behind. You just thought, it doesn't matter. Someone's gonna turn it on in that team, and they did, and it was a shame in the end. Following season, they couldn't really build on it and everything. But that feeling, I haven't experienced it too many times.
Who was your all-time favourite player?
I've seen in the live in the flesh. Blimey. I think if it was an attacking player, it's probably between Payet and Di Canio. I just always used to get you off your seat, I think, to be honest. Probably just nick it would probably be Payet just because I saw him live more often. It was we had Man United away in the Cup quarter final. I went up there. He's obviously whacked it in from 30 odd yards. The limbs were like unbelievable, and it was just just thinking, brilliant. We're going to do it. This is going to be the year we're going to win a trophy, and everything. Obviously, we ended up. I shouldn't have had the equalising goal, and then we lost in the replay. It wasn't until I obviously watched it back. I think Michael Owen was on the commentary with someone for whatever. I don't know why how come he was doing it. And the commentator, and they were both going, in the warm-up, he's been hitting them from here. He's been hitting them into the wall. I've been going flying over the bar. I don't know why he's bothering and all of this. And then, of course, he's whacked it in. And I'm just thinking, have you not seen him at all this season at that point? So what if he wasn't nailing them in the warm-up? No one really cares about that. Yeah.
So my favourite player's got to be Pablo Hernandez.
Right, nice.
He was some player in for Leeds.
Yeah.
I remember after the season we went up, he scored against Swansea. It was 0-0, and the ball's coming from right, and he's hit it, and it's trickled. It left post and gone in. And absolute limbs. Well, I think that pretty much secured us going up, but we still needed a result, I think. And I remember the moment we actually went up. It was Emile Smith-Rowe, who I think he was on loan at Huddersfield.
Yeah.
And he scored. He scored, and obviously I can't remember who the beat, but it sent us up. I remember watching it in my dad's living room. I didn't have a voice after. I didn't have a voice left. Unbelievable.
They're the best moments. They are when that happens. Yeah, they're the best for me. So anyway, after we're gonna obviously come back to the music now.
Yeah.
And on every This is the Music Meets podcast, we ask all of our guests a series of questions that are designed to be a little bit more light-hearted, and just sort of like help the listeners find out a little bit more, about the artists that we've been interviewing and we've been chatting to. So the first question is, what artists on the underground new music scene have you been checking out over the last sort of 12 months or so?
A band I do really like, and I've seen live, and I think are going to go very far, are the Kairos.
Yeah, they're class, man. They're class.
Yeah, and they're a band that I remember seeing for the first time at Gorilla Bar in Mexborough, and we all kind of looked at each other and was like, "These have got something." These,
Yeah,
do you know what I mean? That's it's one of the moments where you're just like, "Yeah, these are good."
yeah, definitely, yeah,
And obviously, us being musicians and like, um, like being humble, like we can, like I can look at a band and say like, "Look, fair play to them. They're going to go really far." And like, you know what I mean? There's no bad blood between us and any bands and stuff like that. I hold my hands up and say, "Look, they're going to go really far," and they've got some banging tunes.
yeah. They have, and I think they sound really tight as a band as well. But they just as well look like they are literally having the time of their lives whenever they're up there on stage. Doesn't matter how many gigs they've done. Or...
Is it M&S Arena?
Yeah.
Yeah, unreal that.
Yeah, no, I agree with you there. I think they are, fingers crossed, they are a band that's gonna, break through, and good luck to them with that. So set the scene and tell us about one of the Denabys' most memorable gigs.
I think I'm trying to think now.
Well, it must all be memorable, right?
Yeah, like we enjoy all the gigs, but it's like it's all just kind of gone to one. I'm not good at thinking on spot, but it was probably one of his favourite gigs were playing with the Rats.
Right. Okay. Yeah,
Gorilla
Bar.
Bar. We turned up and we're greeted by some thick Scouser accents. And we just had a right laugh with him, and obviously we were hanging about with him beforehand and stuff like that. And then they went on stage, and me and Callum and Deck, we knew all their songs. We knew all the songs off Spotify. So as soon as we played, we'd come off, had a couple of drinks, and then we were straight in pit and just like straight down front listening to him, like straight at barrier, just singing all the songs and that. So that were brilliant, because that were kind of like one of them gigs where I actually had a ticket to the gig beforehand. So, and then we got the support slot. So I gave my ticket away to someone. But that was one of them gigs where you're like, oh, we're actually supporting a band we really like.
Yeah,
so
yeah.
That was the first gig where we supported a band where we listened to just day-to-day life.
Yeah, sure.
So that's memorable.
Yeah, no, definitely. Okay. So what are your 3 favorite albums of all time?
I don't really have a favorite album as such, because I listen to that many, but I'm gonna have to say, I'm gonna chuck 3 out here, and you're probably gonna be shocked by them. Probably Blink-182, and I'd say Enema of the State.
Yeah, that's class, to be fair. Like
Green Day, Dookie.
Yeah.
And then I'm going to chuck out Linkin Park, Hybrid Theory.
Nice. Like them.
Yeah, I'm gonna, because I know every song on all those albums. So I've got loads more albums, but it's one of them. It's like they're the kind of albums what made me like want to do music and play guitar, and like the way the music grabs you. You know, when you feel like you're tapping your head, like nodding your head, tapping your feet, and like stuff like that. You know what I mean?
Yeah, no, definitely no, and I mean, it's great reason for choosing them, and often they're all free.
Yeah.
Fantastic albums. So this one might be a little bit tricky, and it's a little bit out there, to be fair. Could if the band members were an alcoholic drink, what would they be?
Wow. Be careful what I say here, because in case to watch it. Does Jack drink now? Deck could be a can of Stella. Because it's all he drinks. And then Cal, what does Cal drink now? I can imagine he'd be quite girly. Like a Malibu and Coke. and then Jack Daniels.
Hey.
Jack Daniels. And I don't know what drink I'd be. I'll let them decide. I'll ask them.
Well, we'll get them to post it in the comment section.
I went for a steak the other night, and I had a glass of Baileys.
Oh,
I might be a glass of Baileys.
Oh God, rather you than me, man.
You're not a fan of it?
No, definitely not. No,
it's more a Christmas drink, but I don't mind it. Me, like the aftertaste is quite like a hint of coffee and stuff like that. But I like my coffees. I have about 4 coffees a day.
See, no, I can't. Well, if I'm knackered, then I'll force myself to have one. But no, I'm not having alcohol and coffee. No, I'm not. No.
Yeah, I say I had a bottle of whiskey last week, but no, it's one of them drinks. It's strong into it, so
yeah.
Yeah.
So
rockstar drink.
Yeah, that's it. You got go big or go home, right?
Yeah.
So, would you rather fight a kangaroo-sized duck or 10 duck-sized kangaroos?
A kangaroo-sized duck. Or 10
or 10
duck-sized
duck-sized kangaroos, yeah.
I think 10 duck-sized kangaroos, because I'm 6'1". They're quite small. Which like are we talking like little ducks or like obviously geese aren't ducks, are they? Are geese ducks?
They're geese.
They're geese. So, so it's the little ducks. I can imagine, right? I can just volley them. I can just kick them. My girlfriend's just messaged me now. She probably just heard me and laughing at me. Yeah, I reckon, because I've got 2 legs, I can kick one and then obviously kick another. Could probably strangle them. I reckon I'd win.
And which member of the Denabys is always late, be it for sound checks, rehearsals, or band socials?
Deck.
Yeah.
Deck every time. So the other day we were at practice on Sunday. This was Sunday. So we're getting ready, like prepping the socials for the release of Can You Feel It? Yeah. And I was doing some videos, and I was like going to each one. I'm like, have you got a few words, or you got a message for fans? And expecting them to say, yeah, get ready for midnight tonight. Can You Feel It's coming out? And then Deck turned around and went, what? It's coming out tonight? I went, where have you been? You've been living under a rock? Well, the song comes out at midnight tonight. He's only been banging on about it for months. I can't wait to release this song. I can't wait to release this song. He didn't even know when it was coming out. So, it'd be late to his own funeral, that kid. He's funny though. Like, there's no one like him. He's one of a kind. But he's a good bass player, but he's always late. He's one of them people. He says he's on his way, but he's still in Bath.
Sounds like he needs to get a watch then, by the sounds of it.
Yeah, he's getting better though. He's getting better. I tell him to be there 10 minutes earlier than what he needs to. So he gets a wiggle on, gets moving.
Brilliant, lovely. And obviously we've spoken a little bit about some of the plans that Denabys have got across 2024 in terms of like live dates and stuff. But is there anything else that you've got coming up that maybe hasn't been announced yet that maybe people can get excited for?
We have everything we've got at the minute is all announced. The only other thing is maybe if we're going to the studio again and do another song. But it's all in due time. It's obviously we're all trying to like you're trying to like go around people's schedules and stuff like that. So we've got like 1 gig a month and along those lines. The idea for us is just demand. So if we play too often, you kind of dilute your fan base. So we're just trying to manage everything and space everything out to suit us and as fans. But we're always trying to think of stuff to do. Always like we're gonna write some new songs. Really, that's what we're gonna do. We're gonna start writing some new songs, and what we do is if a song's stronger than another song, then it takes that place in set list. So that's kind of the mentality we've got at the minute: quality over quantity.
Yeah, sure. I think that's definitely the best way to be.
100%.
Yeah, rather than just putting stuff out there, for the sake of it. But look, Niall, unfortunately, that is the end of This Is the Music Meets podcast. Thank you so much for coming on and being a great guest.
Anytime.
Finally, great to meet you, even if it is virtually.
Yeah. We'll have to come down and do a gig near you at some point.
Yeah, no, definitely that would be amazing if that was to happen. But before I do let you go, and we get gigs booked in and all of that sort of stuff, can you just let the This Is the Music listeners know exactly where they can find the Denabys on social media?
So you can find the Denabys on Facebook, Instagram, X, formerly known as Twitter, Spotify, Amazon Music, Apple Music, Deezer, YouTube. You can even find us in the sounds on Snapchat, I think. I tried to find us as music on TikTok the other day and I can't find it. I don't know why. And you can find us everywhere on the internet. I think we've even got a Wikipedia. I'm not sure. I'll have to double check, but that's where you can find us.
So it sounds like you're taking it over slowly, the internet.
Yeah. It's mine. Won't be called Google anymore. They're called Denabys. Or Dougal.
Love to see it. Love to see it. Well, look, we'll put those links down in the episode bio, along with a ticket link for the biggest headline show. Even you've got today at the Leadmill on Saturday, the 2nd of November, as well as the link as well to go and stream the fantastic new single. Can You Feel It? Niall, to say, look, thanks very much for coming on. You are undoubtedly one of my favourite bands over the last sort of 18 months or so, and I really wish you continued success. I love seeing it whenever you've got a new release coming out. And as I say, I wish you continued success as a band. I think you're a top band and you're a great lad. Looking forward to more in the future.
Yeah, cheers, mate. That means a lot, honestly. It does mean a lot. It's good to hear. And I'll be on again at some point. So if you ever want me to come on again, just drop me a message. I'll probably be next time we release a song or something like that. But when we do, I'll send it you over so you can have the first exclusive play.
Oh, wicked. Love that, man. Love the support. And can't wait to catch up with you again in the very near future.
So, Mark, thanks for that.
3, 2, 1. And all that leaves me to say is to thank everyone for tuning in to the latest This Is the Music Meets podcast. Please subscribe so you never miss out on any future episodes. And if you're loving the podcast, show us some love by leaving us a 5-star rating and written review, as it really does help the artist we interview to be discovered. Thanks for listening, and I'll see you very, very soon for another episode of the This Is the Music Meets podcast.